True gossip, with the truth and the gossip. Yo, that's a concept, it's not a complex. Keep your mindset on the truth and the gossip. It's not a contest, but a step in a process to get the truth and the gossip. Hey yo, from the house to the street, where the gossip meets the truth. Not a complex, true gossip. Keep your mindset with the truth and the gossip.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to True Gossip, where gossip meets truth. And tonight's episode is Black Love. It's Valentine's Day, and we just want to say Happy Valentine's Day. We have a special guest on tonight, one of our top fans from True Gossip, which is Reverend Chris Dow. She is our top fan. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Black love. And one of the questions is, why should there be a term called Black love? So let's go ahead and introduce our panel. We have Bishop Rick Pleasure, who has his church out in Greensboro, North Carolina. We have Maria Benson, who started a new group called Melon Mix. And then we have Tajuddin Chubaz, the man who brings the word with the wisdom, and he has 5,000 followers on Facebook. Shabazz, go ahead and start us off tonight. You're on mute.
Unmute. We can't hear you.
You got me now?
Yeah.
All right, peace. I'm going to start off with the bishop. Brother Bishop, why should there be a term called Black love?
I don't have the slightest idea. Love is love. Black love, white love, green love, purple love, we all bleed the same. Love is love. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. So I don't see a significant reason for that terminology, black love, because love doesn't have a color. It's an impact and an effect that makes an impression. So I don't see a significant reason to have a term called black love. I just don't see it.
Yes, sir. And let me go to Reverend Christel. Same question. Why should there be a term called Black love?
Well, I agree with Bishop. Love is love, period. But I guess as times changed and as the generations changed, they was like, well, we need a specific type of love, to specify our ways. Because the way that a white guy loves his woman and the way a black man loves his woman is two different types of love, even though it's still love, but it's looked at differently through the different generations and genres of life.
Thank you. Maria, why should there be a term called Black love?
Well, what I get out of it is because, like my parents, we just celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary, January the 31st. And it's like, there's really no love like that out there anymore. Everybody's shacking, people just having babies and without any disregard of a relationship. So when you see a black man and a black woman, sticking together and going all through thick and thin, because we rarely see that. That's why I always consider that. Now that's black love because of the strength of it. Because not a lot of black couples go that far, to stick together and to be together for a long time. And that's why I consider it black love, because it seems like it's a stronger bond than any other culture, because our cultures give up on each other too quickly. We don't go to counseling and stuff. We just like, it's over, you cheated by.
Amen.
Can I say something?
Wait a minute, Bishop. You're welcome.
You're gonna say it anyway.
I can, Laura. You know,
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Oh, it's John.
Yeah.
What's going on? Listen,
All
I'm if I may, I'd like to jump in on this topic.
Well, give us a second. Go ahead, Shabazz. He's facilitating. Go ahead.
All right.
right. Hey, Kinlaw, and then I'll come to you on Tanya. Kinlaw, why should there be a term called Black love?
I think it's important that I think it's kind of important. If you go back and you think back in slavery times, from that point going forward, there was no way that blacks could express love to each other because they was torn apart. It's go back to the psyche of the black culture, the black community. There was no attachment between the father and the household because that father was sold to another household, or he was raised to just be a what they call a buck breeder, you know, for some force. So the desensitizing of family and fellowship and love. And you fast forward into the early 1900s or so, where you know, women were treated like property. You know, in a lot of cases, you know, you had a lot of women that married early as a way of a family gaining profits or benefits or property or anything like that. So women were treated as objects for a very long time. To the point where the love and all that wasn't really a main factor. It was more so about the control. The man felt as though he worked. The woman's job was to be at home and to raise the kids. And from a cultural standpoint, there was no expression of feelings and emotions. That's why when you see a lot of those old pictures, the man smiling, but the women looking like, Lord help me, Jesus, get by one more year, you know? So you fast forward to now. I think now in the last maybe 20, 30 years or so, starting with the Cosby Show, you saw for the first time the images of what Black love supposed to be like, how a man and a woman made decisions together, you know, respected one another, communicated, all those things. So we're still figuring it out, you know, in a lot of cases, because we was taught not to love each other, not to even love ourselves, you know, for the most part. So you have a lot of those different combinations that plays a major factor. So I think there should be an expression of Black love along with being Black and proud. So I think it's very important for that term to be used.
Hey, thank you, John. Hey, Bishop, I'm gonna come back to you to add on what else you have to say. But let's direct this question to Tanya. Why should there be a term called Black love?
I'm with Kinlaw and with Maria, because we go back so far, 400 years into slavery. We didn't really know what love was. You know, they pitted us against each other so much that we we hated ourselves. We hated each other. We hated light-skinned people. You know, the dark-skinned didn't like the light-skinned people. The light-skinned people didn't like the dark-skinned people because you know how they would call it the house in and the field in. You know, so there was no love between us. You know, because they made us not love one another. But I believe that term Black love is a strong connection, because as when they realized that what was happening to them was wrong and they wanted to get away, you had those that was able to bond together and was able to leave that type of lifestyle and move on and do it together. And that love is strong. There's a bond there that connected them to give them that strength to be together as one and be Black love. But I'm gonna go further into that. But go ahead and let Bishop go ahead and say what he had to say.
Go ahead, Brother Bishop.
Tell me the question again, because I must have lost something.
I was getting ready to say Bishop doesn't know what happened.
Yeah, I got
Why
lost.
should there be a term called Black love?
I think that I just think that it's simple. It's one. It's a multitude of meanings to many different people. Number one. Number two. It could be a relationship between husband and wives and communities. But now that I heard the question, because you should have given me first, because I don't like Black love. See, because again, I go back to, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm so tired of hearing about us being in slavery. Our mentality is still there. We're still there. We're still there. We talk about, you know, I think that
But Bishop,
I think we as a people.
but they keep us there. They keep us there.
We keep us there. They don't keep us there. We keep us there.
They keep
Yes.
us there.
We keep us there. I don't believe that. I don't believe
of both.
we
It's
need
a
to stop
combination
blaming the
of
white
both.
man for the bondage that we keep ourselves, and we haven't allowed ourselves to be free from the slavery in which they put us in. We hold ourselves in that bondage, and you know, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You know, we didn't have an opportunity to express our love for one another, and I heard somebody say we didn't love each other. Yeah, there was a conflict of interest between each other, but I don't never believe that we didn't love each other. We just didn't understand how to love one another. And so the light-skinned people didn't like the dark-skinned people, they said, but I don't believe, I just believe that we as a people have to stop allowing, we got the Jim Crow mentality in us. We keep it there. We haven't gotten rid of it. It's up to us to get rid of it. It's up to us to get rid of it. If I'm always saying, you know, I'm going through all this bondage because the white man helped me. No, you're holding yourself down now. Let's stop using that as an excuse. Let's move forward. Fast forward. Let's move away from it.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
He done had enough.
Let's let Shabazz, hold on, guys. Let Shabazz answer that question, and then we're going to move on to the next question. I'll ask that question. Go ahead, Shabazz. Why should there be a term called Black love?
Because it's been absent. I don't look at, when I say black, I don't look at it as an adjective describing love. I look at it as our color, our culture, our cosmic connection to the creator, all of that into one. So again, if you got other people expressing their ways of love, Irish love, all these other type loves, I think we should be able to say black love, but it goes beyond just saying color. It inbounds all of the totality of us. And again, yeah, the slavery thing went down, but with knowledge, we can bust up all of that whole mentality and move forward.
Amen.
You know, we can't forget what happened. We'd be fools to forget that, but it is time to move forward from there. Again, don't come with a problem without bringing a solution. Peace.
I was getting ready to say you can't move on without the mentality. If they keep putting the same mentality in your head, and we're not teaching our children this different mentality,
Problem.
stay in our head, just like the white folks.
That's the problem. The Black community is not teaching their children about self-love. Okay,
they're not.
How can society? So that's gonna move us on to the next question. How can society promote Black love? What can we do to promote self-love? Go ahead, Bishop.
Now you're talking my language.
I think you should have put him last.
You mind your business. But no, serious. Let me say this. The way we introduce love to our community is by allowing us to grow in a common denominator that things can get better. We have to teach our children the morals and the values of loving one another. First, we got to teach them to love themselves, because most of us, in all honesty, most people don't love themselves. So how can you love somebody else?
Right.
So we have to teach our children,
yes,
in our households. We gotta, first of all, we gotta teach our young daughters that they don't need to be running out here getting pregnant by these no good knuckleheads, not having family structure. We got to teach them that. We got to teach them the importance of family structure. We got to teach them the importance of loving themselves. We got to let them know we love them. My daughter, I'll use a good example. My daughter, at 10 years old, I sat down and I gave her a promise ring. And I promised her that she needed not to rely on any man to do anything for her as long as she was in my household, and as long as she was obedient to the rules and regulations of the house. And if she got into a situation that was uncomfortable, she was to come to her father so that I could correct that. If someone said something inappropriate to her, come tell me. That's how we have to start. We have to tell our sons, pull your pants up. Stop walking around with your pants hanging up your behind. You look a mess. Teach them some discipline, and then in that discipline, will bring growth in the Black community.
All right, so Reverend Cristal, how can society promote Black love? And I'm going to merge this other question. What can we do to promote Black love? It's the same question, but how can you promote Black love, and how can society promote Black love?
Well, the way that I can promote Black love is like through my generation. I'm a millennial, okay? And I hate to say it, the generation beneath me, they don't understand love. They don't understand what the concept of love really is. And they want to look at the internet, they want to look at the TV, all these women on Maury going on there 10, 12 times trying to figure out who their baby daddy is. That's not love. You say, oh, well, he said he loved me. But then how come you taking him on there 5 times, 6 times, and you still don't know if he's your father of your child? And society, men walking out on women, that does not show love. That does not negate love, because that leaves that stigma in the back of a woman's mind. If my daddy didn't love me, then no man in society is going to love me. So we as women have to learn how to love ourselves, not just, well, first off through God, and then also have a good support group of our sisters, our cousins, our nieces, our aunties, whoever. Tanya, you know, I'm talking to you because we fam. You know, we have to be able to lean on each other, and then go out there into society and help those who are in our own generations and help them to grow and better themselves understand. And I'm sure there's somebody in everybody's family that's been married 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And you can show them, well, if that relationship lasted, then you can find one too.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, my aunt and my uncle, they've been together, right, for like 55 years. 55 years? Is it 55 or 51?
No, it's 54. They're going in
54 years. And they've been together, and they're not old. They're like 75 and 76. I don't consider that old because they still working. You know what I'm saying? My husband go out and work every day. And they live in a household with one another, and they love each other. You know, so that's the type of love that I would love to have. So, Shabbat, to Maria. Then we go to Ken Lord. Y'all answer that question, Maria, then Ken Lord, then Shabazz, you go to the next question. Look, she forgot the question.
I'll go ahead and jump in.
I didn't know you were talking to me.
I'll go ahead and jump in.
I was waiting for Ken Lord to go.
Go ahead, Ken Lord.
You know, listen, my grandparents were married over 75 years, right about 75 years. Up until the point of both my grandfathers passed away. So both my grandparents married for a long time. Me personally, honestly, that's not a fair comparison. The mindset of women that got married back in the 20s and 30s are completely different from the women of the 2000s and 2010s and 20s. You can say that started with the feminist movement and so forth and so on. You got a lot more women. You have a lot more women who really are not dependent upon a man at all. So the mindset of our grandmothers, was that you got married, you left the house, you got married, and you just be a good wife and be a domesticated wife at that. There was no other way of living. So that's all they knew. So that was instilled in them from the time they was a child all the way up until their adulthood. A lot of women couldn't go out and just get jobs. They wasn't attorneys. They wasn't senators. They wasn't dentists and other professional jobs that women hold now. So, you know, the men did go and work 2 and 3 jobs and make the household move from one point to the next. The women stayed at home. They had babies. It was a completely different mindset. That's right. Now you tell a woman to go cook or clean and stuff, and she makes $100,000 today. You all right? You just let that settle. You know, you got women I know women that work for the Pentagon or attorneys, judges, just a whole nother different level of a type of woman. So it's just a different mindset. And so therefore, the promotion of marriage can be a little complicated. In a lot of cases, it can be just for status purposes or a tax break. Who knows? So to find that true love, you don't know. Now, getting back to the question, how is we as a society can break that or could help that out? Going back to what Bishop had mentioned, getting out that slave mentality and getting back to, you know, believing ourselves. I think we have to police ourselves. How do we police ourselves? Well, it used to be a time where some music that is salacious like it is today, we wouldn't even promote it. We wouldn't even subject to it. If you was a black music artist, you made things that was of substance, that was uplifting to your
That's
community.
right.
Yeah.
When the other record companies wanted these black artists to sing different type of subjective music, they protested against it. They said, I ain't doing it at all. Now you can pay these artists off and they'll say anything that doesn't benefit the black community whatsoever. Now you have these shows, and I know we love the Tyler Perrys and stuff like that, but if you look at a lot of his productions plays on the negative stereotypes of the black community. You know, it doesn't really uplift. It just kind of exploits the love of hip hop, the Real Housewives. None of them are married. Basketball wives. None of them are married. But they tell you how to get different athletes and how much money and the lavish lifestyle and this and that and third. So I think as we as a race, if we start policing the things that we are suggested to, that makes it subliminal to a lot of different ways of how we can benefit from Black love. And I think that's the way that we as a society can help each other get back to what's genuine and what's real.
All right, thank you, Kenyon. So Maria, what's your take on that? Because I was going to ask you the same question that Kenyon already addressed. I was going to ask you, do you think that the music and the way the women portray themselves in the music videos have anything to do with how they look at, you know, what Black love is, and the men from that perspective, how they call women the B words and stuff like that, and how they even call themselves N words? I mean, do you think that has anything to do with it?
I mean, I had got into a big argument, a debate. I got into a debate with my daughter.
Come on.
Because I really didn't, we were both on the same thing, and I didn't really like how the girl was dressed. And I said she didn't look fancy. She wants everybody to give her some respect, but she's not presenting herself with respect. So my daughter's saying, well, how do I know if just because how she's dressed, her personality might be of respect, which is true. But what I'm telling her is I'm trying to tell her what everybody is seeing. They're going to see her before she starts talking. That's what I'm trying to explain to her. They're going to look at her image before they can hear that she has some type of knowledge or education. Yes. So it's how you present yourself if you want somebody to respect you. I understand that you can dress naked and walk around and don't give any man no privilege to touch you or call you any type of names or think that you're at a lower standard. It's how you present yourself. That's all I'm saying. But I wanted to say something back to the love thing. The word love has evolved. No one's taking that word love serious anymore. It has evolved. It has evolved to the point where it's so many things that's involved in this love before we even get to the love. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, you didn't have to worry about if the man was pleasing you in bed and all this, or what you got to put on the table and all this. You got to weave, you keep weaving your hair. It's just a whole bunch of different type of love right now. Love ain't love. So if you do find it, you good. But go ahead. Next.
Listen, the word love today, you know what it means to these young girls, to these young guys? Legs open very easily. Legs open very easily. Give me some booty and I love you. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then you get pregnant and I gotta leave you because I can't deal with that.
It's like that. You gotta give them.
And that video, talk about the videos,
to know if they want you or not.
Well,
so
see,
when you give it up, then they decide if they want to be with you or not.
But again, we as a people have allowed ourselves to become in bondage to think that if he loved me, he'll beat me. If he loved me, he'll mistreat me. Girl, you know what? A good guy can't come and get a girl because she wants a thug. She wants somebody who's gonna beat her, who's gonna sell dope on the corner. She don't want an executive today.
I think like this.
Them girls ain't looking to have no husband, a preacher for a husband. They
That's
want
not
a
true,
thug on the
Bishop.
corner for a husband.
That's not true, Bishop.
No, not all. I'm just saying in general. And this is the behavior we develop. And you know what we've done? We've taught them that because we allowed them to undress themselves, walk around with their pants hanging off their butt, and have no respect for one another. So guess whose fault it is? Ours. That's on this app.
And brother said, I think Kinlaw had brought it up. He was saying that it has to go back with education. Now, we know we're in February, at the end of February, which is so-called Black History Month. It started as Negro History Week. But see, this is what we need to do is those of us that consider ourselves leaders need to go after the youth and let's teach a history, not starting from slavery or the cotton fields. Let's teach about the history before we even became slaves. Because they make it seem like we just started in slavery. That was it. No, go back, teach the Queen Nzingas, teach the Toussaint L'Ouvertures, teach the Ya Asantewas, so that they'll say, well, we were more than that before slavery.
Exactly.
Peace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sister Maria, before you go to the next question, Tanya, Maria, I want to say I agree with you, because like if a woman is dressed a certain way, that's all the man's going to see. And the man is going to think that she's a Nicki Minaj when she could be on the inside of Michelle Obama.
Exactly.
Yep, you're right. So we're gonna go around the panel, and we're gonna ask this question. This is a question that we posted in True Gossip, and it got a lot of hits on it. And the question was, how long does it take to know that the relationship is not the one for you?
Oh, I like that one.
Go ahead, Kinlaw, and make it brief.
You too, Bishop.
That's a tough one.
Oh,
Mr. Kinlaw, where you been?
That's a tough one. I think.
How long did you wait?
Okay, so let's just speak on my personal experiences, right?
That's what I'm waiting.
In a lot of cases, men, I would say in general, men, we tend to deal with relationships that we know are not good for us, but we like the convenience of it. And when I say convenience, we like the things that we gain in that relationship. In a lot of cases, it could be lust. A lot of cases, it could be money. It could be a number of different things. So I think we've all have fell victim for putting up relationships where we know wasn't good for us, but there was something that we benefited from it at some point in time. Obviously, now that I'm older, there are things that I can identify real quickly and would know to say, no, that ain't good, just and that and the third. But when I was out there in different relationships and stuff like that, there were things that I would be more open to dealing with. And that created a lot of drama because I didn't know how to say, this is not for me. I didn't know how to say. A lot of times I would make that move before bringing closure to one situation, and a lot of drama had came with that. And so those are learning experiences from me. So I pray for anyone that recognizes when something's not good for them. I caution them, just from my experience, to go ahead and stay true to yourself. Understand that this is not the end of the road for you, for him or her, that there is somebody that can be better for you. But I think a lot of us have played a part in being a part of a relationship where we know wasn't good for us, but we continue to still settle and be in that for whatever innuendos that came about with that. So I don't know. I can only just encourage the listeners and people who are probably dealing with the same things to, just stay true to yourself and have enough confidence in yourself to know that if you're in a relationship where you feel like it's not the best for you, to go ahead and walk away, because there is something else out there better for you.
All right, Bishop.
I'm sorry.
Let's see your answer.
okay.
Hold on, let me get the Bishop's face for this.
Yeah, get comfortable.
Straighten up that chair now. Straighten up that chair.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Can I hear the post bit? Can I hear the pre-bishop version before the bishop version?
Oh Lord.
No, because that's going to take up too
We
much
gotta get the
time.
real.
That's gonna be an hour.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
I think ultimately, first of all, when I was coming up, when you brought somebody to the house, your mother said, boy, that girl ain't no good for you.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes our children have to be told that the relationship's unhealthy.
That's a lie.
Sometimes it may be a lie to you, but it's true in some households.
Because I know somebody right now wishing.
Okay, well, you know it when it's your turn to talk. I'm saying that in relationship building, first of all, your household has to be a role model for your relationship building. If your mother is sitting around getting whipped by her husband and stuff, you think that that's okay. If your mother has a husband that's providing for her, you think that that's okay. So the environment, number one, that they come from should attract the individuals they want. But I know these good girls, these good girls who like bad boys like my wife and IE. My wife like bad boys, but look what she ended up with, a bishop, okay? Although she like bad boys, she ended up with a bishop because of her destiny. But we have to tell our children, we got to lead by example. If your household is chaotic, then that's what your child's going to look for. And if the father doesn't, love his, can I finish?
Go ahead.
If the father does not show his love to his daughter, she's going to look for it in all the wrong places. And what'll happen is, wherever one that comes with that good old song becomes daddy.
I want to know how you know that your wife like thugs. That's
because my wife was a thugette. That's how I know.
How you know?
Well, how you know, Bishop?
I want to know.
She told me.
You was stalking your wife, wasn't you? You was stalking her. You was stalking her.
Let me tell you the truth. The truth of the matter is, I said, dang, my wife gardened and sent her to me. Oh, no, he didn't. I wanted to go about at least be a 2-liter, but thank God for the 2-liter.
But you know what, Bishop, you right. Because men will pass a woman by, or a woman will pass a man by, thinking
now
that
you want to be on my side. You want me to be right.
They ain't the one. I mean, they the ones, and this one ain't the one. But then they'll come around and they after 20 years.
It's the worst piece of junk in the world. You got a young man with a white shirt on with a tie and his pants pulled up, studying to be a doctor. She'd rather get the pharmaceutical leader on the corner.
Bishop.
Huh?
How did you know when the relationship wasn't good for you?
Thank you.
How?
Thank you, Ken Law.
How? I never had one that wasn't good for me.
Oh.
Okay. And you're the
I
only
never
one.
had a relationship that wasn't good for it may have been good for the moment. It may have not been good for the moment. Somewhere along the line, I got something out of it. I got something out of it.
You know what? No relationship is bad.
I learned from my mistakes.
It's a learning moment.
I learned from loving people. I learned from trying to love people who didn't love me. You know that song where I said it's so good loving somebody when somebody love you back.
Read the question again and ask Reverend Chris Style that question, please, because I don't think nobody got that question right.
I got it right. I know what the question was. The question is,
ask me the question.
The question is, how do you know if the person is right for your relationship? You don't know until you get into it. That's when you know.
What you mean get into it?
Go ahead, Crystal.
Go ahead, Crystal.
Now, piggybacking on what Sister Maria said before I get to answer that question. Trust me, I've had guys overlook me 1,000 times just because I'm sitting on my black behind. But then they realize, oh, I should have went with the smart, educated sister instead of that dumb little tick across the street. But that's another story. But anyway, but the way you know when the relationship is wrong for you is when you lay down in your bed at night and the last thing that you think of before you close your eyes is the last dumb word that came out of that man's mouth, and you still pissed about it when you wake up the next morning, and when you see his number on your call ID, you want to hit the red button, but you hit the green button to be nice because you don't know if his butt is laying up there in the hospital. But then after you realize that you can't deal with his butt no more, and you have to block his number, that's how you know that the relationship ain't good for you no more.
Testify
When you
then.
want to
Go ahead,
block his number,
testify.
roll him over.
That's a whole
Like,
lot you gotta go through.
Maria,
and when you have to have your cousin cuss him out for you, just so he
Yes,
will leave your butt alone.
Lord have
it's
mercy.
the truth hour. Don't touch that dial. Maria, how long does it take for you to know if the relationship is good for you or is bad for you?
It only takes me like 24 hours.
Dang, that fast?
I mean, listen, it don't take me long. It don't take me long because I know what type of person I am and I know what I expect from a man. And if I don't get that feeling that he's gonna be consistent, oh, you got to go.
Please, Jesus.
I'm too old to be waiting. What am I waiting for? I'm too old to be waiting. I'm too old to be waiting. If you can't give me an orgasm with a conversation,
I know we already got blocked.
What happened? Baby, you lost me. You looking for an orgasm within the first 24 hours?
You
like you a thought.
You're not listening. That's what's wrong with me.
That's why I'm asking. Say that again. Could you say? Can you say it again?
I'm gonna start over and I'm gonna say it
Yeah,
slow.
please start over and say it slow.
If the man cannot give me an orgasm with his conversation, it ain't worth it.
Oh.
I can get it, or anybody could give me an orgasm sexy, but if you can't give me an orgasm with a conversation, what am I gonna have you around for? If
but
all
Maria,
you can do,
but Sister Maria, sometimes it takes more than 24 hours for that conversation to get to that good point.
No, it don't. It don't take that long. It don't take that long to know if somebody could have a conversation with you. If you meet up with a man and y'all can talk all night without even mentioning the word sex, and you being in all types of different situations, and you like, damn, this is worth talking to tomorrow.
Yes.
So you gonna know, because if he can't get your mind circulating, how he gonna get your punani circulating?
Well, I've had those type of conversations where I've fallen asleep and a man snoring in my head, and I still lay there with the phone next to me.
That's what I'm saying. You got if a man can't keep your attention with his conversation.
Can I say something? I got to piggyback off of that before you go to Boz, right? Listen, I'm going to tell you like this. That conversation in 24 hours can be the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Because people will try to trick you and hold that conversation with you and talk intellectual with you to keep you, right? But you go on, let me finish. You go on and on with that conversation and with that person.
That's impossible.
But let me finish. It gotta take about at least 3 months to know that this person is not for you, because habits will start to come out.
Yes.
And you will know if that is something that you want to be able to deal with or not. You know?
Yes.
Listen, let me finish. I'll let everybody talk. The person cannot continue to be the same. The truth will hold up. The lie cannot hold up. You cannot pretend but so long, because you're going to mix up your lie. That's the only thing I'm saying. But it takes 3 months at least to know, because what happens is you start recognizing things that you don't want to be involved with. You will see something that is familiar from a relationship that you know that you don't want to be involved with that person. It'll be something that they would say or do, and then you would step back. That's just my opinion. You would step back and say, you know what? I dealt with something like that before. Do I want to move forward in that relationship? You know, so there will be signs, but it takes some time. I'm not saying take your whole life, because 6 months is too long. But I figured 3 months you'll be able to see something that'll let you know that this relationship is not for me and you need to end it before you
At
get
the age that I'm in, at the age that I'm in, and what I've been through in my past, I know. I already know. I already know. After all these relationships that I've been in, I already know. If you can't keep my attention on a conversation level, then I might as well stop talking to you. But if you're gonna be able to keep me going, we can contact you tomorrow.
Yeah, but you're saying 24 hours. You can't know that in 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you can, but I can't.
Yeah.
Maria, I believe what you're saying is true because you know my wife told me, she said that when she fell in love with me, she fell in love with my mind.
Boom.
She fell in love with my mind. She said I was teaching on love.
And I had to learn that.
She said what made her, because me and my wife, we couldn't really we really didn't like each other at all. Like when she walked in the room, I would want to puke. When I walked in, but we grew. But you know what? But you know what that was?
Jumping.
We were trying to deny ourselves of love. No, because we're talking about black. No, forget about black. Now we're talking about love. Period. And like, I think that we've lost that, and we're trying to get black with it. We've lost love, and we're trying to put black with it. We can't do that. It's not a good mix right now.
Well, I'm black people, and I want to be in blackness. But go ahead, Shabazz.
Whether it's 24 hours or 3 months, if you apply the formula quality over quantity, whether it's 24 hours or 3 months, you shouldn't, at our age or as you get older, it shouldn't get that hard to recognize those red flags that Tanya was bringing up, whether it's 24 hours or 3 months. If you're honest with yourself. So again, quality over quantity.
Yeah. So
Tanya, do you have anything else?
You're right.
Oh my God.
Tanya, what about that question that me and you was discussing the other day about black men and the strong-minded?
Well, at this time, we don't got no more time. This is True Gossip with Gossip Me Truth. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm sorry we couldn't go Facebook Live, but this video is up. We want your comments on this video. John Kinlaw, Maria, she got the melon mix. Join her group if you dare. You got Bishop, Rick Pleasure, who churches in Greensboro, North Carolina, Jesus Christ Church of the Triad. You got Reverend Chris Child. She will be coming along with her podcast soon. I don't know the name of it, but it'll be showing up soon. Then we got Brother Tajuddin Shabazz, who has 5,000 followers on his page. I dare you to go and try to be his friend. And then we got John Kinlaw, our Southern Free Thinker, who always come with some knowledge. He drops it. He lets us hear it. He knows how to break it down, and we love it. And we missed you, boy. What happened, man?
COVID-19 is real.
All right, I hear you. All right.
Oh, really?
And guess what, y'all? There's going to be a spin-off for TC, so I want y'all to check that out. Talk to y'all soon. Peace and blessings.
Okay.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
What?
Fans, $24 a month.
Visit Maria, pay for
OnlyFans, $24 a month.
What?
Your fan club, because you got a lot of people that love you on this show.
Stop lying. What they say about me now?
They be loving you. They be loving you. They say that girl is crazy over there. That Maria. That Maria is crazy.
Sister Maria, question. How old are you? Just so I know.
I'm 53 years old, honey.
Okay.
I'm 53.
Well, we're the same age.
Okay, that's what's up.
That's what us.
That's why I said
35.
I'm 35.
Yeah, I usually say
just reverse.
I used to say that to my kids. They used to like, Mommy, how old
He said 50.
Now I say 50.
He'll put his little signs up, fix it, Jesus.
The mental orgasms, not the physical, the mental.
No, we talking about Maria.
Maria is
I mean, but come on now. If a man cannot
He ain't gonna play around with it.
orgasm, is something wrong with him. If all he doing is talking about sex, what are you offering? I could get that. I could go out the door right now and flag somebody down.
Yeah, but can you get an orgasm?
Jesus.
We can go out there, but can you really get an orgasm with just anybody?
Well, Tommy, you can buy a toy to have an orgasm.
You know what? Let me tell you.
No, y'all listen. This is off the topic.
You're still recording, Tanya.
I know, but we ain't live. I'm gonna put this on.
Listen. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Let me tell you
a story.
Let me tell you a story real quick. Now,
put your children to bed.
What children? What children?
Anybody that got children, put them to bed.
Yeah, put them to bed.
Go ahead, we ready, Maria. This is after hours.
So I was online, right? I had got on one of them online dating things, right? But I didn't have it on my phone. So one day I had went on there to check to see if I had got messages. So I got a message from this man or whatever, nice man or whatever, and me and him was talking. So that we was like, I was like, all right, let's just do the little question thing. You ask me a question and I ask you a question. So we was asking each other questions and going back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, all right, he's cool. So then I'm like, well, why you only have selfies or whatever? Why you ain't never standing up in any of your pictures? So he was like, oh, I just like to take selfies or whatever. So I'm like, So I started doing a little detective work. and I found his Facebook page. So I go on his Facebook page and guess what, y'all?
What?
Got no legs.
He only got one leg.
Don't tell me that's the reason why you dumped him.
No, and that's what he said. I told him no. I do not want to talk to you because you should have been truthful and told me you had one leg.
What they got to do with an orgasm?
No, it's not.
She was just talking about her experience with it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about orgasm.
Because remember, we was talking about the 24 hours. That's what I want.
24 hours. Oh yeah.
Within that 24 hours, he couldn't even be truthful with me and tell me he had medical conditions.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
What if he's not comfortable sharing that with someone in the first 24 hours, though?
Because
I didn't hear what Kinlaw said.
I mean, most people are not that comfortable with
telling people that.
Tell them that type of information is quite intimate. You know, you might not get that in the first 24 hours. You see what I'm saying? A guy who's in the military who's suffered from PTSD. He might not tell you that in the first 24 hours. You see what I'm saying? Because some people are struggling to deal with that themselves.
I gave him a chance. It wasn't 20. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I gave him a chance or whatever. I was like,
Maria, how long of a chance did you give him?
Until I went on Facebook and found out he had.
I bet you, as soon as you hung up the phone from him that night, you went on Facebook and started doing your detective work.
Exactly.
But Maria, what I'm saying is, as a disabled person, and I can tell you, speaking honestly, there has been times I've talked to guys online on those dating sites, and I have not told them that I was in a wheelchair until I talked to them for at least a week, because I had to know within my mindset that they would be okay and equipped to handle that, because sometimes that's a lot of pressure for somebody to have to take on. Because they're going to be like, well, I'm going to be judged because all I got is one leg, or I have to use a prosthetic leg, or I have to be dating this chick in a wheelchair. That's a judgment thing. And he wanted you to look at him.
It was more than a week, though. That's what it was more. I gave him more than 24 hours. It was more than a week I gave him. But then he's like, oh, I'm going to go here. I'm going to drive. And I'm saying to myself, you really making he lied. He said he could drive here and go.
He can.
Yeah,
He
he
can
can't.
drive with one leg.
He can't. Listen. He can't drive. He told me he couldn't drive. He has to have people bring him to wherever he needs to go.
Oh,
But
so he was lying from the gate. So
Right.
we understand.
exactly.
Okay.
All you got, just be truthful. And then I told him, I said, I'm an open book. Anything you ask me, I'm gonna tell it. I don't have no reason to lie. I'm too old to lie. What am I lying for? And he's just as old as me, and he's lying.
Right.
So it's
I don't get
like,
that either.
Okay,
yeah,
now that
so
I understand.
exactly. So it's more to it than, like I said, the 24 hours, which Tanya could be right about. But to me, I just know, because it just
You can
within me.
feel, I know sometimes you can feel something about a person and you just want to check it out.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
But
So I'm just
you don't want
saying.
to judge. You don't want to judge so fast in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? So, but
And
I'm
that's
gonna
the
give
thing.
6 months of my life to somebody when I already see the signs. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. But thanks, guys. I'm gonna post this right away. So I'll see y'all soon. Maria, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this so you can post this sexy stuff in the melon mix. Bye, guys. Talk to you later.
Brother Shabazz, I'm gonna become your friend on Facebook.
All
Yeah,
right.
5,000 members.
Go
You ain't
ahead.
gonna have a slot boy, Tiny said.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know you want to be on your page.
Oh no, I'm starting to delete some coons on my page.
Right.
So
Wait. You got all, wait. You got how
Put you
many?
in jail.
Let me ask you a quick question. How many Africans y'all got on your Facebook page that you don't know?
I know.
I
I'm
don't have any Africans on
I
my
went
page.
through my page the
Oh,
other
you
day. I
mean
said, how did they even
African
get
American?
there? Yeah, I have some that I know, that I've interacted with.
That's the
So everybody on my
concept.
page,
It's
I
not
know.
a
I know all. I
Keep
have
your
1,000 people. I
mindset
know
on the truth and the concept.
Really, I do.
I got like 100 people.
It's
I don't
not a
have no-
contest, but a
I have a
step
lot
in
of
the
people, but I
process
got a
to
lot
get
of
the
church
truth
people.
and the
Yeah, I
concept.
know a lot of church.
Yeah, I do too. I got a lot of
Yeah.
people on my page.
Hey,
all right, I will.
Like my
Bye,
page.
guys.
Okay, Tiny, tell us to
where
get
the
off
gossip
other
meet the
words.
truth.
All right.
Not a complex.